following podcast contains spoilers for the book chosen and may include spoilers for other books in the same series. The participants of this podcast have also been drinking a lot. The participants of this podcast are professionals and did not drive home until sober. Please, drink responsibly.
You're gonna puke. Read! Drink! Black! Ouch! I'm trying to read.
Welcome back.
Wait, hold on.
Jacob sat down.
Welcome back.
Is actually going off with his birthday?
Sleeping Beauty.
Alright,
What are we doing? Where are we?
we're Sleeping Beauty, or Briar Rose, as it was
Okay.
originally known.
All right.
Just go run through it because I don't remember.
Yeah.
All right.
This
Queen
is
has a daughter.
No,
Invites all the
Queen has
fairies.
a bath.
Queen has a daughter.
No, she has a
invites
bath
all
and a
the
dog.
No!
In
has a
mine,
bath.
in mine, the sorceress had a daughter, and she was just like,
What?
She was like,
Sorceress.
in mine, it was the sorceress had a daughter. She wanted her as white as snow, and red as like
Wow.
fucking lips, and black as this ebony chair.
That's Snow White.
That's Snow White, yeah.
We're talking about Sleeping Beauty.
Beauty.
Sleeping
Sleeping
Beauty.
Beauty.
The next story.
She had a daughter.
Okay, go.
Queen has a daughter. She's like, I'm
Dude,
gonna
I
invite.
apologize 7 times that we're gonna run long. 'Cause I'm running long.
I'm inviting all the fairies to my wedding day, but I
Yeah.
forget one of the fairies. It's Maleficent, but Maleficent isn't
And
named
he's
this.
pissed.
It's just
Angelina Jolie.
It's Angelina Jolie,
Yeah,
the angry
fuck
fairy
him.
without a name.
Angelina, come to our
Angelina.
party.
Fuck it, I'm coming
she's
anyways.
like- she's
I don't
like-
give a shit.
I showed up. I'm party crashing. Fuck you.
Yeah,
you didn't
fuck
invite
all
me.
this.
Yeah.
Don't reference
Party
other
boy. Cross
books.
their
Go, keep
Or
going.
do.
You're good.
All right,
I
he's
don't
good.
care.
He's good.
Yeah, yeah,
Bah, wah, wah.
yeah. She's like, wait, what are you doing here, bitch?
I curse your
I don't give a
baby.
shit.
I curse your baby.
Yeah.
On her 16th birthday, she's gonna
What?
poke the spindle and fall
How
asleep
do you
forever.
come to that party?
And
No,
her
she's
mom's.
gonna-
Oh no,
she'll
she's.
fall
I'm gonna curse. I'm gonna poke the
Yeah.
spindle. She's
Yes,
gonna.
it's
She's
poke
gonna
spindle.
die.
She's gonna die.
Like,
How
and then,
dare you not
and then
invite me to
mom's
my
like,
party?
mom's like, oh no. And then a good fairy. She's like,
The 12th
no.
fairy.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna fucking.
She's like, hey, I'll
I'm-
make it
I
so you
can't-
fall asleep instead
Yeah,
of die.
I can't stop it, but I'll just make her fall asleep forever.
For
instead.
100 years.
Oh,
In
it
mine,
could
it was-
be,
original.
It could be.
In mine, it was just
It could be a year,
indefinitely.
20
Ours was
years.
a-
It
it
could
was
be 100 years.
100
No, it could be 20. It
So
could be 100. Who
and,
knows?
and
That's
mom's
what it
like,
was.
lol, whatever. Fast forward, girl's 16, and she's like, you can't touch any spindles, honey. And kid's like, I know what I'm doing, mom. And then she pokes a spindle and falls asleep.
Yeah.
And the queen's like, fuck. 3 days later, she kills herself
Fuck.
from a broken heart.
Exactly how it was. Yeah, she died from a broken heart.
And the good, and the,
Exactly how it was done. Steven nailed it.
the quote unquote good fairy's like, oh no, if it's in like 100 years and then everyone she knew and loved is dead, I should make everyone go to
Yeah.
sleep and have the entire kingdom be in perpetual
Because it'd
sleep
be weird if
forever.
she just woke
because
up to all
that's
these
way
people.
better, right?
All these confused people.
The answer is no.
Yeah.
A century passed. Some random prince is like, dude, this is a forest. I'm gonna go in it. Oh look, a sleeping kingdom. Oh, that
Oh, wait,
girl's
everybody's
hot.
sleeping,
I
yeah.
like her. I'm in love with
I'm
her,
gonna
even
go
though I
kiss
don't
her.
know her. Girl wakes up. Cool.
Cool. Oh my God, I've been waiting for you,
Everyone
she
wakes
said.
up. They're like, what the fuck is going on? They get married. Happy ending. The end.
Okay,
That's pretty much it, yeah.
so originally, yeah, it was 100
here
years.
we go.
So what happens is King
The
destroys all the
90,000
spindles,
book page
except
version.
for there's an old woman in the tower spinning flax, and the princess goes in. She's like, "What's
Yes,
this?" She's
yes.
like, "Touch it." Falls
She's like,
asleep.
what's that? It's a spindle.
So-
you never
Yeah,
seen a
it's a spindle.
spindle?
Yeah,
So,
that's it.
Give it a poke.
Yeah,
Open
so-
it, Dad.
Poke the spindle, yeah.
In mine, it wasn't the fairy didn't do it. Just as soon as she fell asleep, the whole kingdom fell asleep, and a wall of thorns grew up around the entire kingdom. So prince after prince kept going to like save her, and then they would run into the thorns and they would die.
Taking
Fuck.
that.
So finally, one prince came along and he's like, "I'm gonna save her." So he walks through, and the thorns just part and turn into flowers.
And
So
he's
he-
like, well, what?
yeah. So he walks through and he kisses her, and she wakes up, and then like, that's it.
Yeah.
Happily ever after. That's it.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
the Disney version has like the
But she
Maleficent
woke up,
dragon
she's like,
and
oh,
all
I
that
was
shit.
dreaming that you'd wake me up.
That don't
Also,
happen.
Originally, the queen was like taking a bath, and like some animal pops out and says like, she's like, "I want a child," and then an animal pops up and says, "All right, it's gonna happen." But in the very original, it wasn't whatever the animal was. It was a crab that jumps out in the very original that says like, "All right, you're gonna have a baby."
Does he have a Jamaican accent?
Yes,
All right,
You're gonna
cool.
have a baby under
Yeah.
the
You're going
sea.
to have a
Under
baby.
the sea.
exactly.
Also, there's no king apparently.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
just not there.
That's true. There is
No?
no king. You're right.
Little Mermaid.
in mine, there's a
Okay.
king because the king who is the one who destroys all the spindles
Yeah.
in the entire kingdom.
In mine,
Not in
okay,
mine.
in mine it was, all right, I quote, "There was once a queen who had a beautiful baby daughter. She asked all the fairies in the kingdom to the christening, but unfortunately forgot to invite one of them.
The 12th, 13th
Who was a
one.
witch?
Yes, who was a witch? Yeah, that's what
And
I read.
mine,
Yeah.
yeah, and mine was like,
Who was a witch? What a
and mine
coincidence.
was like, whoops.
Yeah. Coincidentally, the only one she didn't invite was a witch. Oh no!
No, mine were all just fairies.
But then the witch came anyways and
Yeah.
crashed the party and was like, she's gonna die.
Mine
And
was
she touches
like-
a spindle.
mine
When
was
she's
like
16.
the first 11
and mine,
fairies.
she was like, you're the best, idiot.
yeah.
It's like, you should have invited me. Now she's gonna die when she turns 16 when she touches a spindle. Too bad for you.
In mine, the first 11 gave her virtues like, the first one was like, she'll be kind, and then she'll be generous, and then the 13th one popped up after the 10th one and was like, no, she's gonna die, and then the 12th one was like, no, she's gonna sleep for 100 years. That's all I had.
Another one came after. It's like, no.
No.
I can't do anything really, but instead of dying, she's gonna
Yeah,
sleep
like
forever.
apparently the evil one was just like so powerful that no one could supersede her, like making
Yeah.
her die. It's like, I'll make her sleep, but I can't just like completely negate it for no
Yeah.
reason.
right.
Anyway, the Little Mermaid.
Hey, real quick. A thing I wanted to point out about this one
Yes.
was in my version,
Yes.
the fairy was very apathetic and did not give a shit about shit.
In my
story,
story, she was just
shows
very
up. She shows
shitty.
up, and then it's like the queen's like, "What?" I'm sorry that I just screamed for no reason. But in mine, the queen goes, when will my daughter awaken? And the fairy goes, and as I read it, I don't know.
And as I lay dying,
when will my daughter awaken? In a year's time, 10 years, 20 years, the queen said, I don't know, maybe in 100. Like, who
I don't
who
fucking
knows?
know.
Oh, what would make her awaken? Asked the queen.
Yes, exactly.
Love?
Oh yeah, maybe
That's
like
like how
a
I read
random
it.
kiss
And
from
then
like
the
a
queen
prince.
died of a broken heart.
Yes.
Like, she was
Love?
like, she was like, yeah, she was like, when's my daughter gonna awake? And then I was like, I don't fucking, who cares? I'm a fairy. And then she was like, "Ah!" And then she's dead. Like, that's it.
All right.
Little Mermaid. Dude, Little Mermaid, I was kind of stoked over this story.
this is my favorite story.
All right, who's gonna do it?
Oh shit, Jake, do yours.
Go.
'Cause I'm too drunk to read it.
Ghost.
All right.
Jake.
So there is the Little Mermaid who is not named Ariel, but Sirenetta. And was not a redhead, but was a blonde.
Blonde. Yes.
Apparently.
I didn't get that.
She's a blonde.
All right, that's a
Oh,
small
I'm less-
detail to emphasize.
I'm
Keep going.
less interested.
Oh,
Keep
sorry.
going. Keep
My
going.
boner,
All right.
gone.
I got a lot to
So
say.
she's
I
like,
got half a
she's
page
like, I want to
to
see
say
the
about
first, and they're like, not till you're 15. Then she turned 15. Then she's like, can I see this?
We're
I'm
in
like,
an
okay,
hour.
cool.
How many
Granted, we're gonna
sisters?
edit it a little bit, but
Yeah.
we're in an hour
Two.
in audio.
Two?
She had two sisters.
Six daughters altogether.
She had
5
two,
sisters in mine.
Don't matter.
going.
She goes up. Oh, cool. Here's the
She's still a
surface.
slut.
That's neat. There's a ship. There's a 20-year-old captain. He's
Exactly.
super hot. I love him.
Yeah, I love
It's
him.
his birthday.
Oh wait, the boat's sinking.
I definitely don't have herpes.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Guys, you're drunk.
No, I'm
going.
drinking Tom's beer. Go!
going.
Big storm.
Yep.
Boat capsizes. Little Mermaid
me save the hottest one.
She saves the hot captain.
Yeah.
Throws him on the beach. He's woken up by some other chicks. He falls in love with one of those chicks. Little Mermaid goes to the evil
Yeah.
sorceress. She's
Sorceress.
like, I can make you walk, but you can't talk. And if you can't make him fall in love with you, you'll die. She's like, all right, I'll
She
do
gave
it.
her the worst deal ever.
Worst
The
deal ever. But she's like, deal. I hit the red button. Let's
like,
go.
I get
she
your
goes
voice.
on land. She's like, "Bleh, I can't talk.
Yeah.
Prince is like, I'm gonna take
deal
care
ever.
of
She agreed to the stupidest deal ever.
Prince is like, I'm gonna take care of you because you washed up on shore just like I did. But the prince didn't really love her. He loved that chick that woke him up on the beach. And
Yes.
she loved him back. And the
Yes.
princess is
I
like,
know,
oh
she's
no.
so sad.
Prince and other chick got married. Little
like,
Mermaid is super.
Okay, but
is
I'll go on
super
a
sad
boat. I'll go on
'cause
a boat ride with you. Okay. Oh wait, fairy's gonna take me into the clouds. Oh cool.
You're fucking skipping ahead by
That's
like
what
2
happened.
sentences, Steve.
All right,
You
let me
fucking.
get
Okay,
Sentence.
so
Keep going.
she was, yeah. So
All right.
she was like,
One of
I'm
these
in
two
love with this
sentences.
dude, and he's like, I love this girl who saved me from the sand, and
Boring
she's the
sentences,
best.
that's what
And
I'm
then
saying.
he goes, blah, 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 I rule this castle, and the little mermaid goes, I want to fuck the shit out of him, and the sea witch goes, I got a potion. I got a potion.
We're jumping back.
That was whoa. We're going back
your
in
feet,
time.
Steve.
Your
Your
feet
feet
are
are
going
back in time.
Your feet are.
Prince, you're
Jump
Steve.
back.
Oh my
Your
god.
feet hurt
You're
so
Steve.
much.
Stop.
She gets out of the
Jump,
ocean.
jump.
She gets out of the
Just
ocean.
jump back so far. Keep
She
going,
gets-
Jake. Keep going, Jake.
She gets out of the ocean.
You jump
She
back
gets
to
out of
the
the ocean.
beginning. Oh,
They
my
fall.
God.
They fall in love,
This
but
is
they
his
don't fall in
fault.
love.
That's back in
They
Vietnam,
don't fall in
dude.
love.
This is his
The prince,
fault.
He's
the
so far
prince
back.
falls in love with the dude, with the chick.
With the dude.
Back
That's
up.
it.
The
He
prince falls in love with the
With
dude.
a dude chick. And then it's like, we're in love, and they fall in love, and then her like sisters come up and they're like, we're bald, lol, and she's like,
that happened,
cool,
yeah.
lol, bye, and
We
the
just
end.
jumped.
We're bald long.
We're done. What did you think about the story?
I liked it.
So, did you notice that like mermaids live 300 years but don't have an immortal soul? Did you get
Yes!
that part? That's a thing. Continue
Everything
on.
fell off the desk.
So that's the thing, right?
Jacob,
Yeah,
go get the
Only a
mouse.
few
Thank
things.
you.
And when they die, they turn into sea foam. They don't go to
Yes.
heaven or anything. They
Yeah,
go to sea
no, but that was
foam.
weird because
I wanted
She
to
was
bring
like,
that
"Oh
up
my God, they
because
found
I
love.
thought
This sucks."
in my story, in my version, it was like the king of the sea. He goes, "Daughter, you are so great. Here's a present. You can go up to the surface world, but remember, you don't have a soul.
yes, that
Mermaids don't have souls.
But at the end of mine though,
What?
It was
Just so you
different.
know.
It was different at the end of mine.
Yeah.
They were like,
BT
"Oh."
Dubs, no soul.
She's like,
Don't
"Oh my
fall
God,
in love."
They fell in love. I'm so sad. What am I gonna do? Some
And then
random
he's
cloud
just sitting
fairies-
there going,
No,
I said
I-
BT Dubs.
Mine, some random cloud fairies came down like, "Oh, you're sad because he doesn't love you anymore. How would you come up to the clouds with me and look down and watch them fall in love?" And then she like cried, and that was the
That's
end.
it?
Yeah.
Okay. I wanna before the cloud thing. I wanna point out this. In my version, so everybody went like, "Hey, the prince is back. He's so great."
Yep.
Fireworks, and then they just died in a storm. And I was just thinking,
That's the beginning.
in mine, they just died in a storm. And everybody died except for the prince because he was saved by the mermaid.
Yes, that happened.
And
Yeah.
in mine, it was
beginning,
like
yes, the
they all
beginning.
went, "Whoa, so cool, fireworks!" Pew, 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 pew.
Yes.
And
Yep.
and I was just going, it's like the perfect storm with John C. Reilly. I'm so stoked that they're all just
He
dead.
was in that? I
He was
forgot.
in the perfect storm.
Forgot
And
about
they're
that.
just
He
all,
was.
He was.
yeah,
That's
and they're all
amazing.
just dead. And then like the one dude's alive, and she saves him, and then it's just like, that was a good movie. I don't watch that movie.
Did you guys get a lot of preface on the witch? Because in mine it was like her house was made of the bones
No.
of shipwrecked
No,
sailors.
no.
She sat. A toad was eating from her mouth.
No,
Tom,
no.
like all
I
kinds
thought
of
it was
stuff.
more like just
I'm
like,
s-
hey,
I'm
I
glad-
need to see the
Was
witch.
it the Frog Prince? Yeah.
Is it?
It wasn't.
in the
No.
ocean? No, idiot.
What were you gonna say?
No.
Salt water. That was my next point.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring that up. In my version of the story, the witch super like informative and just like in my version, she goes, "Hey, I will give you legs, but it's gonna hurt like a bitch, and it's gonna be super upset. Like,
Hey!
what do you want to do?"
Oh no, the cops are showing up.
Oh!
Get over here.
Did I mention that I hate the cops?
Yes, the
Bam,
pants.
bam,
Cops
bam,
off
bam.
screen.
This
Yes,
is a
the pants.
podcast.
Oh, no.
We're on video.
I didn't touch her.
well, you didn't see
I
it
hope
all.
they kiss.
No, I didn't
Guess the
kiss.
parents.
Anyway,
Well, wait.
They're not gonna kiss, but they're thinking
was
about
doing
it.
it. The
They're
witch was
fucking. I
barely
can see it
quiet.
on TJ's face.
No.
So what happened
the
was
witch was barely like,
Shut up, Steven, you idiot!
no,
I
fuck
hate
you.
you.
I hate you.
Fuck you,
dude.
So-
Fuck you. Fuck it. Fuck you. Hold on.
You want to step? You want to step? Oh!
there it is. He won.
So,
He's drinking.
so in my version, in my version of the story, the witch goes, "Hey, I'll give you legs. It's gonna hurt like a motherfucker.
Yes.
and
That's
I
good.
need
Yeah,
your voice.
you want
I need your
knives.
voice." And she goes, "Worth it."
I know.
And then
It
I
was
just
weird.
go, "The witch is not a bad person. She clearly explained everything."
You're right.
Awesome
They say
disclaimer.
you're gonna be
They say
suffering
she's
forever.
evil,
I
but
guarantee
she's like,
it.
Yeah.
here's everything
Yeah,
that's gonna
she's
happen.
like, "This is this," and then the mermaid
She
goes,
didn't.
"I want to fuck this dude."
I laughed so hard the whole story.
Right.
I was like, the witch is like, you're gonna be in suffering forever.
Get in the fucking
You're
mic,
gonna
you
be fucking
fool.
suffering. And she's like, I don't give a shit. I just want to fuck this guy. She's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm just letting you know. Every
suck.
step,
You're probably
every
gonna die.
fucking step is gonna hurt like
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't give a shit. I want some
I don't
dick
care.
so bad.
Glasses are the thing I
Every
understand.
fucking step.
Anyway,
What was the price? What was the price for the potion?
oh, she had to give up her voice. She's like, "I don't need my voice. I don't need shit." And the
Right.
witch is like,
witch is like,
"You're
okay,
doubly,
I'll take
trebly
it."
sure." Like, you know? And she's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Whatever, dude."
And if he marries
didn't
someone
give a
else,
fuck.
you
and then he
die.
marries someone else, and she turns into a fucking air spirit. And I go, "What happened? Why did I read this, Jacob?"
All right, in the original. All right,
beast.
no, in the original, to get rid of her voice, she cut off her tongue. She cut off her own tongue to get the voice. That's metal.
We didn't read that.
Metal.
That's too much
Metal.
metal.
Also, did you notice?
Literally, one of my later notes is,
Yeah.
"That's so metal." Like, I
Did you
don't-
notice it was like real hashtag friend zoned because he's like, I love you as a friend, and she's like,
Totally.
I love you.
Yeah, totally.
That sucks.
All right.
All right, anyway, so what happens at the end of the original? I have to. Her sister's pop-up ball. Give her a dagger.
Give her a dagger.
Stub,
Kill the prince.
Stab
and she's
the
like,
prince.
no, I'd rather die.
And
she
then
goes,
the fairies
"I
come
rather-"
grab her.
And then all of her sisters are just stuck bald.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, we tried
No,
to help you,
mermaids
stupid
can
idiot.
grow hair. All right,
Like, look at me,
in
I
the
have no
original,
fucking hair now.
it's like stab the prince, and if his blood falls on your on your legs,
That's not
it'll turn
mine.
back into a tail.
That's
So
different
you gotta
from mine.
pour his
It was-
blood.
it was
so
more just-
metal.
Mine was retarded.
It was more just kill her, kill him. But whatever.
Yeah.
She didn't. She turned into like
Yeah.
a bird person instead.
Yes. Mine was
Could
retarded.
she
It's
win
like,
her
tail?
tragic happy
oh,
ending?
Yeah.
Beauty
Because in mine, it was after 300 years of being an air spirit, then she could win an immortal soul, and then she could go to heaven.
Did not get that.
Didn't get
mine
that.
was stupid.
Didn't get that, but that's neat.
That's
Beauty
awesome.
and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
Fucking
Let me
moving
go
on.
through this real quick.
right.
In my version, Beauty and the Beast, Merchant shows up. He goes, man, I really want to sleep. And the guy goes, okay, you can sleep here. And he goes, give me these flowers. He says, no, my flowers. You give me your daughter. And he says, okie dokes. Yep. And he goes home and he goes,
This isn't paraphrasing. This is changing the story completely.
No, in my version,
That's how it went?
this is how it went.
All right.
And then he goes home and he goes, hey, hey, daughter named Beauty, can you go live with this beast
name was
for a
Beauty.
while so I
And
don't
she's
die?
like, "'Kay."
And she goes, I love you so much,
Yeah,
Daddy.
I love you so much.
Totes
I'll
death.
do it for
So
sure.
So she goes there and she goes, man, you're great. And he goes, you want to marry? And she's like, that's weird. You're a monster. And he goes, yeah, I understand that. Okay.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
And then she goes, my dad's super sick. You gave me this mirror that lets me see my dad, and he's super sick. And he goes, oh, okay, you can go home.
You
but
got
come
a
back-
week.
Come back in a week, please.
Yep.
And she goes, toast death. And she goes home, and she goes, hey, this is my dad. He's dying of a broken heart. I love him. He's the best. And then goes back to Beast, and he's like, and then he says, are we gonna hang out ever, TJ?
I would like that.
Yeah, you fucking idiot, you liar.
No, TJ's not an idiot. TJ,
No, he is. I said
hang
it.
out
I don't want to be a
sometime.
liar. That
I work this area now.
he's working the area.
you have a weird
Hey, we got a
mouth.
noise complaint right now.
Can I say that?
Is this a noise complaint? For
I don't have my glasses on, but like your
Beauty
mouth
is
is
my
dumb.
hair.
Is this for real?
This is a real.
So Beauty forgets to come back
fucking
after a
illegal
week,
shit,
and then
arrest
she's
me.
like, "Oh no, Beast is dying," and she goes back, and Beast is dying in a rose bush, and she's like, "I'll marry you anyway," and
and
he's
she's
like,
like-
"I'm a pretty prince," and they get married.
Exactly. She shows up and she goes, "You're so pretty as a dying wolf or something," and he goes. And she says, "I'll
makes
marry
horsey
you."
sounds.
That's
She
what
says,
happened.
"I'll marry you. I love horses." And he goes, "My Little Pony's a great show. We're both human, by the way. Thanks."
Yep.
The end.
The end.
That was the
Yeah.
end too. I was.
I'm very
My mind was
confused.
lost.
The
Wait,
moral of the story:
end?
love someone for who they are.
Yeah. This was one of the other ones.
the beans.
This is what. God, Jake, you gotta stop doing that. And this was. This.
Jackie Bear has so much
All
better
right,
than
it
that story.
started.
Okay.
It started with Little Mermaid. This
Yeah.
is another one
I
not
like
written
Jack's
by
one
the
better.
brothers Grimm. It was
I
written
know,
by someone
I
else.
know.
altogether.
My shirt.
It was from.
Rip it off.
This was our oldest one from 1756.
Holy
That's
originally.
way too long.
Whoa.
Shit.
1700s.
Oh my fucking
More
God.
Tell me
drink.
that's not
kidding me right now.
insane. Yeah, and like originally he gets there and he's like, I'm gonna kill you unless you sacrifice a daughter. Daughter gets there and she's like, now you're the mistress of the house. So then the sisters trick her into staying for 10 days. This is really weird summary.
This is
And-
not happening.
And then he gets there. Oh yeah, you didn't get that?
No.
No, the sisters were
No.
jealous because Beauty was like
stories were
so
long
awesome.
as shit.
So
Didn't
they
get
were like,
that.
stay her.
No.
So then she's like, all right, I'll stay for 10 days. She goes back after 10 days. Beast is there dying of hunger. And she's like, no, I'll marry you. And then he turns into a prince.
Dude, you read some long stories.
Yeah, in ours
Yeah.
it was
Mine
a little-
took me an hour to read
No,
it,
that's
so
what
I'm
I'm saying.
gonna freaking
Most
talk
of us,
about
hold
it.
on.
I'm
Hour-
so sorry.
No,
this is so long.
We're
at 70
using jacking
minutes.
off at the same time that he's reading these hour-long stories.
Just stroking it.
Jack off. We're
Yo,
jacking
yo,
off at the time he's reading these
This
stories.
is gonna run long. I already said like 7 times, and I apologize.
You just keep
but I'm
saying it.
apologizing
That's
again.
why it's running long.
We're
You
at
keep saying
70
it.
minutes, Tom.
All right,
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Jack and the
All right, I had a thing I wanted to say.
Go.
This is the first story where somebody made fucking sense. In
Jack
my
and the
version,
Beanstalk.
Beauty goes, yo, I don't want to marry you, and he goes, that's cool.
He's like, I get it. I'm fucking
Yeah,
gross.
I'm a giant monster man. Okay,
But he's really nice. But he's not.
He's kind of
Whoa,
like.
that's
he's
not
kinda-
mine at all.
I actually like
Wow,
identify with
mine's
him. He's like awkward about it. He's like, I get it. I'm gross, and he just like walks away.
And he's
all
like,
awkward.
ah!
Yeah.
And he's like, I also tried to kill your dad. That's
Mine is
weird.
totally
But I
different.
like you.
Yeah.
Wait,
Whoa.
why did she try to kill her
Whoa,
dad?
whoa, whoa.
in
Oh,
yours?
because at the beginning he was like, dude, I totally told my daughter I'd take a rose, and then
Yeah.
like, here's
He sleeps
roses.
in his
I
bed
want
and eats
one.
his food, but he never sees the host of the house. And
Yeah.
he's like, I told
You
my
didn't
daughter
get
to get
that?
roses. He
Mine
goes
is
to get
totally
he
different.
goes to get a
What the
rose,
fuck is
and then
going
Beast
on?
just
What?
busts out. He's like,
What was yours?
trying to take my roses, bitch.
Steve, what was yours?
Dude, mine is 100% different. Mine's more like, hey.
It's more like Jack and the Beanstalk.
No,
Next
mine's like,
story.
oh my
Jack
god,
and the Beanstalk.
I live with my mom. We're
with
so
my mom.
goddamn poor. We can't afford a goddamn thing. She's like, hey, go get me some cattle. He's like, all right, I'll go get him cattle.
I'm not plugged
hey,
in.
I'll give you beanstalks for that sheep. Stop.
No, talking.
I'll give you beanstalks for
talking
that
to the
sheep.
mic.
Okay, sure, but
I think
my
Tristan
mom's
died.
gonna be pissed, but I'll do it.
Wait, are we
comes-
on Jack and the Beanstalk?
Yes.
Oh, all right, Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yes.
Jack and the
He
Beanstalk.
comes home. His mom's like,
Are you
What
good?
the fuck, dude? Are you kidding me? Magic beams? Are you an idiot? He's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, mom.
In yours, did your mom have any kind of game plan? Because mine literally said,
no.
"Hey, we're gonna sell Mickey White and with the money start a shop."
No.
Or
She's more like,
something.
oh my god,
they
we
were
have
gonna
no more
buy. They
cattle.
were gonna buy a new calf and
Yes.
like basically restart the business
In
at a calf.
my
But
shit
you
said
need to
or
go
something.
and get us a new calf.
yeah,
Sell
the
our
old
calf, 'cause
sell
he's
the-
too old.
Yeah, sell the old
Yeah.
cow,
He's too
buy a
fucking
new
old.
calf.
He's old as shit. He's like, I'll
do
trade
you
it for
do?
some magic beams.
Tristan, stop touching things.
hit the thing.
I got it.
I had to plug in the laptop. It got
Oh
unplugged.
gosh.
Ah!
This is why we're 70 minutes.
This is gonna be so funny on the video.
Tell me,
All right.
when should I
so
start?
anyway,
My
all right,
version
we're
is
just waiting for Jake.
Mine's so much more
Oh
different than you
God!
guys'.
Last time he started using feet, he knocked his laptop. Tristan, come sit down like a big boy. Come sit down like a big boy.
Let me make sure I'm plugged
We're
in.
on Jack and the Beanstalk.
Okay.
Dude, I can't believe how different my
All
story
right,
is.
he gets beans because he's a dumbass, and his mom's like, "What the fuck?" She throws it out the window.
Yep.
It turns into
She's
a beanstalk. He's like, "Cool, beanstalk."
I'm gonna
Climbs
climb
up
that
it.
shit.
He finds girl giant. She's like,
still
"I
on.
like."
Oh,
I don't have a-
mine's a guy.
Yeah.
No, originally it's girl giant. She's like, "I don't have a
okay.
kid. I like you because I don't have kids, and I kind of."
Oh yeah, there's a girl.
She's like, but
like,
you gotta be careful because
yes.
my husband loves to eat kids.
Yes,
but
my husband
I just,
eats kids.
I just like kids regular. You don't have to be
All
scared
right.
of me. He's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
He hides because
He hides in the
shows up.
oven.
He
Keep
hides
going.
in the oven.
Hide in the oven,
Dad
keep
shows
going.
up. He steals some gold. Runs off.
We're so
He's like,
long.
Mom, I got
okay.
gold. She's like, cool. They run out of gold. He goes
It's a
back.
good episode.
Steals the goose.
They're rich.
Yeah. Steals
He's
a
like,
goose.
shit.
They get
Steals the
stingy
goose,
as fuck.
Comes back. He's like, I got the goose. She's like, cool. They have a bunch
The
of money.
goose is like, meh.
Yeah,
The John's
goose-
like, what? Is that my goose?
Goose shits
The giant's like, oh my
No,
god.
fuck it, we're skipping that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. He steals shit from the giant. He goes back to his mom. I got a goose that shit's gold. And she's like, fucking aces.
Yeah.
They get a bunch of money from gold shit.
Fucking
They got a
aces.
big ass house. They got a
Gold
sweet
shit.
shop. Everything's great. But his mom starts dying of like sadness. I guess
What?
it's not really clear. Mom starts dying. He's like, gold can't fix sadness. None of the doctors can figure it out. He goes back up the beanstalk one more time. He's
Whoa.
like, magic harp. That might do it for some
Where's the
reason.
harp?
Maybe
Yeah.
he gets the harp. And the giant
harp's alive, though.
and the harp's like, Master, I'm being stolen. And he's like, shut the fuck up. I'm gonna be a better master. And he's like,
I'm gonna
okay,
be a better master.
I'm gonna be a better master. No one ever was. But Pokemon. But
Yeah.
Pretty much, dude. This harp was alive.
All right.
I was
but
confused.
anyway, and Harp's like, oh, okay, I'll be quiet. But I already woke up the giant. And the giant's like, what the fuck? That's my harp. Give it back. You're the guy
Harp's
that's
like,
stealing all my
"Master,
shit.
save
And
me."
Jack's like, fuck. Runs away. Gets down the beanstalk. Chops it down. Giant falls on a cliff and dies. The harp plays for his mom. Mom gets better. They're happy and rich forever. The end.
All right.
Jack's just a stealing dick.
So yeah,
No, he really
is
is.
so greedy. He always wants more. In mine, the mother wasn't even sick. He just wants more all
Yes,
the time.
greedy as
it
fuck.
sucks.
He steals from
And did you notice that? Like
Where the hell did that fucking giant
instead
get the gold?
instead of a giant, mine was an ogre, and he was
Yeah,
an
ogre. Yeah, he was an ogre.
He
He was
just,
an
ogre,
like,
mine.
yeah,
He was an ogre,
he,
yeah.
he eats children. But other than that, he just keeps getting fucking robbed over and over.
does.
again. Poor
Okay,
guy.
mine- all right.
There's
He
no
never
moral
comes
to
to
the
the
story.
fucking beach.
Jack's an asshole.
I
The
have
end.
two.
Yeah.
I
He
have
is
two.
a-
No, I have two.
Jack's an asshole.
Jack is a bitch.
Yeah. in
Don't
mine,
you dare say anything about the next story.
The
Jake.
only two
Jack.
notes I have in Jack on mine, and I wanted to bring this up because
I like the sound.
That ogre has some tiny ass fucking gold. If Jack can just go like rob
Yeah,
that,
no.
and it's like
And
gold.
then
universal
climbs
size.
down the
Well,
beanstalk
in
with all
mine,
the
in
gold.
mine it said, and he put it in a tiny bag. I'm like, okay,
Well, I mean, gold coins are like, I mean, I guess they were
Yeah.
universal, just regular
But, like,
size.
a
And
big-
he got-
minted.
he just had a bunch.
He's
which
gonna
made
climb
me
down
laugh.
this
Which made me
beanstalk.
laugh because like a big ogre's just going like one and moving these tiny like
Yep.
finger
Yeah.
things.
Because
And
he
he's
counts
like,
it every-
I have money. And then two, again, depression, which I brought up earlier.
Oh.
Like Jack's mom is just like, I got sad out of nowhere, and I'm just like, life
I'm
is like
dying.
whatever. And mine, a clown was brought to
Yes.
her,
A
and
clown?
he danced, and she's
never
like,
had a clown.
Fuck clowns, man.
1812 never had a clown.
In mine, it was
Clown?
like the greatest clown from the circus was brought to her, and
Oh,
still,
that's
she
true. No,
didn't-
you're right.
Yeah,
They were
And mine
trying to
was
please
just
her
like-
and make her happy. Yes.
Yeah, she didn't give a shit about
She's
nothing.
like, fuck this
And I was
clown,
like,
get this fucking
okay,
clown out of here.
she's depressed.
Why don't these
Yeah.
people ever die of real illness?
Right?
It's always just like they're sad. They're
Yeah,
dying
they're
of broken
sad.
hearts.
A broken heart exploded.
Well, they were
Heinrich.
probably actually ill, but like back in the day, it's like,
Heinrich.
oh, she's sad.
Yeah.
Next book.
No. So why do you keep doing that? We gotta stop doing that.
Because we are so long.
First off, the guy who buys Milky White, he says to Jack, "Is this a compliment? Oh,
Milky?
you look the proper sort of chap to sell cows." That's what the guy says to him.
That's
And then-
not that is
So-
no positive nor negative.
Yeah,
that is
no.
just a statement.
So then the guy says
His version is fucking an hour.
The guy's like, oh, he's good at math. The guy says, how many make 5? Jack says, 2 in each hand and 1 in your mouth, says Jack, sharp as a needle.
That's what
No,
she said.
Jack is something else, not sharp as a needle. He's got
as
problems.
blunt as
And
a piece of shit.
This is almost our
and-
longest podcast.
Something
It will
else.
be.
Something else that's interesting.
Way to go,
is
Jake.
Sorry.
The wording is after Jack chops down the beanstalk, it says,
was
then
a
the
weird eye
ogre
thing.
fell down and broke his crown, and the beanstalk came tumbling after. Very similar to Jack and Jill.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, I
It
wonder
is.
if that brought like pulled from that
Puss
maybe.
in Boots.
Interesting.
Puss in
Also,
Boots.
the ending, the ending for maybe I'll start next time and then I'll get angry when you guys try to finish.
Yeah.
Your
So,
book is next.
what's interesting
I'm
is
trying to get through the fucking.
Yeah.
We're at like 75 minutes.
so what's interesting about this ending pissed me off because it didn't make any sense.
No, it didn't.
It was
I mean-
the ending was like, all right, Jack showed his mother a golden harp, sold the eggs. Jack became very rich. And he married a great princess for
Didn't
no
get that.
reason.
No.
We
That
didn't need
didn't
to know
happen.
he married.
Never mind.
We
He
didn't
married
get
a
that.
princess out of nowhere.
It's just
'Cause
him and his mom lived happily ever
Every
after.
ending has to end with a prince marrying a princess. Why?
Not
Pisses me
mine.
off. All right,
Fuck
go to the
you.
next one. What's next?
What?
Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots. My story. Run through it real quick. Dude is left. He's like, my dad died. My brother got a mill. My other
Steve's
brother.
notes.
Yeah. My other brother.
Was that
Steve, I was gonna say the same thing.
They said that. In
Alright,
the book. It was
keep
normal.
going.
It was like plain text.
Oh, I'm sorry. In my story, a guy dies. His sons, one gets his mill, one gets a donkey, and one gets a cat. And the guy goes, "Oh man, I got a fucking cat."
Yep.
And the cat goes, "Hey, by the way, like I'm better than those." And he goes, "Cats definitely talked back then."
Yeah, it's
so it's oh!
Wah, wah, wah.
So Steve spills this thing, and then we all go,
I need
so
a straw.
thick.
"Totally, definitely."
I need a
so
straw. I
thick.
can sip it up.
So the cat, there's a pen in there. How'd that get in there? So the cat
Oh, you
goes,
take notes. Wait, we need more than one. Hold
so
on.
you can't see shit
Alright,
because
keep going.
Jacob's. We're still going.
I got my notes.
Jacob's cleaning up the thing for the audio podcast
Yeah?
because he spilled like margarita but strawberry margarita.
It's so thick.
So he
it
goes,
smells good.
It smells so good.
In my version, he goes, "You're a cat. You talk. I agree. Okay." And the cat goes, "Definitely. Give me some boots and a hat." And then he gets some boots and a hat and he goes, "Hey, I got you a wife. She's a princess. Hey, I murdered a fucking ogre. The end. Whatever. Who cares? That's what happens."
Dude, the cat, all he wants is boots.
All he wants
That's
is
not
boots.
asking too much.
That's not.
The cat asked for it. He's like,
Yeah.
hey, if you can go ahead and get me
Jake,
some boots.
you're blocking
that'd
the
be
camera.
cool.
Come on, we can clean
Yeah.
this
He's
up.
like, hey, you give me some boots, that'd be cool as shit.
yeah,
That'd
that's
be
all I want is
super.
boots.
That'd
You
be
give me a
super
hat,
swell.
you give me some boots,
Alright.
I'd be
Yeah.
fucking,
And you
that'd be
notice
cool as
the
shit.
cat does everything. Jack just sits around and pouts. Like
Jack
"I
sits
want
around
this."
and goes,
The cat
"I
does
got a
everything.
cat. My
the
dad's dead."
So the cat's just a con man.
Yeah,
Right?
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I want, and which was
No.
one of my notes. It was like the cat goes, "Give me some boots," and I got this, and he gives him boots, and he goes, "Sweet." And then he just like murders animals
Yes.
for a while, and then he eats an ogre, and then he's like, "Everything's
oh,
swell."
And he's like,
Your
"Way to go,
master must be a
master."
good
And it's like,
hunter.
why are you working for this kid? You could easily just like pave your way to glory and owning the fucking planet.
yeah,
That never happened.
She's
Like, your
the
master's
best
a good
cat
hunter.
out of all the cats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, back then, cats could just talk.
which is Steven's nose.
Which
Steven,
is
show your
Steven's
nose to
nose.
the camera again.
Cats used to talk, and it was totally normal.
Which was a line in mine, which was just
Yeah.
cats used to talk, and that was okay.
It was normal.
And I was like, oh, I forgot about the cats were just like
Damn.
totally
I
verbal.
love that,
Did you
yeah.
notice the cat, every time he went to someplace ahead, he threatened the laborers to cut them up into mincemeat?
That was my second minute.
Damn, Puss.
That was my second. That was my
Puss
second
is hardcore.
note. The cat goes, "Yo, I got this. Don't worry. I'll pretend you're a guy." And then he goes to a random kingdom and he goes, "You fucking say that your fucking
Yeah.
lord is this dude, or I'll kill you, man. I'm a cat."
If you're gonna fucking ask you,
yeah.
you say this,
And they
I'll
go-
fucking slit you.
And then all the
Fuck
peasants are like,
that.
then all the peasants just go, "He's a hat, dude. Don't fuck with this shit."
the ogre at the end of the kingdom, the only thing he did wrong was be vain.
Yeah.
Other than that, he was a good guy.
Well, yeah, the ogre just goes, "Well, I'm leading everything okay, but I could totally be a mouse. Oh, I'm eating. Fuck."
Yeah.
And if I
They
look
just
at-
say it's an ogre because that way, like, you don't feel bad that he dies, but they don't say he does
Yeah,
anything
that's
evil.
true.
Mine
Yeah.
says it's an ogre, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't say he's evil,
Yeah,
though.
they don't
No,
say
no,
he's
no,
evil. He
evil,
just
no,
goes-
no.
He just goes, "I can turn into a mouse, whatever, dude."
Boom,
He doesn't.
mouse.
Did you also notice as he's riding with the, like, apparently being rich equals dad's approval? If you're rich enough, like you got the dad's approval.
That's how it
That's
worked
what
back
my
then.
dad-
I got that in
You
mind.
wanna have your shit
It was
straight, you gotta be
I
rich.
want my daughter to marry someone. Also, I'm sorry, Tristan farted. You probably smell it.
Yeah. I do.
I'm sorry that I want my daughter to marry someone who is like totes deaf money. Is
My
that
notes
cool?
are red. My notes are very red.
All right. The Book
Next
of
book.
Spells.
Oh,
This is
dude,
the last one
I like the
almost.
shortest
I like,
Almost,
I like
almost.
the ending too because it was like the cat had the daintiest of meats and delicious creams.
All right.
And
I
only
got-
chased mice for
I
exercise.
got the book of spells because I read it right before the podcast.
Sweet.
Ready?
Book of spells.
Two fucking nerds read some, like hang out, and then some ogre goes, "You're mine now."
You're mine
and
now,
he grabs them,
Yep.
and he takes them home, and he goes, "I'm reading this book," and they go, "That's filled with spells," and he goes, and then they read the spells, and they're like, "Suck a dick, we're
We
leaving."
can read too.
Yeah, they're like, "We can read. We're fucking humans,
Yep.
dumb ogre." And they leave, and he goes, "I'm gonna catch you." And they go, "No, I turned into a thing from your spell book." And he goes, "Shucks." And he goes home to get some asinine thing that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then they go, "Keep running. Fuck that
Yeah,
dude."
yeah.
And then he comes back and he's like, "I run really fast. Apparently, I caught you
Yeah.
again."
Yeah.
He's
And
fast as shit.
They go,
Yeah.
"We turned into a different thing." He's like, "I'm gonna go home a secondary time.
Yeah.
Get a thing. I'll show up though." And they do
ogre
it
is
again.
fast as
The third
shit.
time, ogre has fucking legs like Miles. Like
Elder's
what?
fucking
Forrest
fast
Gump.
as
And
fuck,
they-
dude.
Yeah. He's just like, "I like to run."
Yeah.
And then,
Fastest
then-
ogre
yeah.
ever, dude. Oh my
They
God.
turn it. They use their magic to turn into. I want to mention this. Only the boy knew magic. The girl was just
yeah.
like, "You know
was like-
magic," and he's
yeah.
like, "I
They
read, idiot."
They both read it, but
Yeah.
only he does the
Yeah.
magic.
He does the magic. Yeah.
So he turns him to corn, and then the ogre's
My
like,
pen is so
I'm
sticky.
Go-
I'm
No,
gonna
I'm sorry.
pick them
it's
all
the,
up.
It's the alcohol from
It's the
Steven.
margarita.
And he goes, "I'm gonna turn this into things." And then the fucking ogre shows up again. And he goes, "I'm gonna get you." And they go, "No, I know magic."
Yep.
They stop him and they go, "Everything's great." The end.
The end.
The end.
All right.
Fuck.
No.
All right.
He
so
turns
this
into
is
a chicken, eats it, and then like, oh, where we're gonna turn into a fox and eat
Yeah,
you.
exactly. No, so the first time he's like, "Oh, I better go back home to learn a spell."
Yeah.
What does he do that first time he goes home? He does nothing. He doesn't come back with a spell prepared or anything.
He turns into a
Yeah.
line, a fishing
Yeah.
line.
Mine
the
didn't
only
come back with anything.
The only things I wanted to bring up about the story was he kidnapped them.
Yeah.
That's
what
a
a
fact.
dick.
Yeah.
He just walked into town.
He's
like,
evil.
"Children, these are mine.
Yes.
He's like, I need servants.
Yes.
I'm gonna
And
steal
And then
these
everybody,
kids.
and then everybody went.
servants.
Yeah, and everybody in town went, "That's
like,
an
oh my God,
ogre.
we'll do
Fuck
whatever you
that
say."
shit. We can
Magic.
Yeah.
Magic over.
We can fuck more and make new kids, like has been explained through
Everyone's
previous
having
stories.
sex in the
Whatever.
Yeah.
early
And then the
1800s.
only other thing I
That's all
wanted to
they
bring
had
up
to do.
was the fact that like the kids would turn to things, and the ogre would go, "Oh, I gotta go get a thing back at my house. Bye."
did you-
Run all the way back home.
Did your
come
kid-
back and then be like,
Yeah.
"I still caught up. I'm so fast."
So these kids are just
very
the Wonder
fast.
Twins.
Did your kids turn into a shrine the second
Yes,
time?
Yes.
they did. They turned
Well,
into a shrine.
He's like,
He's like, oh, I
It's
can't
a-
damage a shrine.
It's
Oh my
like, why
God.
didn't he kick it? Why
Because
didn't
he
he
can't
kick it?
damage
Because
the
it's
shrine.
He's like, "Yeah, but in
It's
mine,
another religious thing.
In mine,
was
he
religious.
goes, "You're a shrine, but I can't kick that because of the religion." Ah, why I oughta.
I'm gonna go get. He's like, I'm gonna go get. I'm gonna go
He
get.
turned into like the fucking Three Stooges out of nowhere.
Because the only way to the only proper way to destroy a shrine is to burn it. So he's like, I'm gonna go get wood to burn it down.
And then he goes
yeah.
back home, and by that time, the kid should fucking escaped. And the time it takes an ogre to walk
turned into
all
corn
the way
kernels.
home and all the way back. He should come back and go, "Well, the shrine's gone. What the fuck?"
Ogres are
What?
They
fast.
turned into kernels. He's like, oh yeah, you guys read my
Ogres
spell
turned
book?
it-
You guys
ogres
read my
turned-
spell book or something?
Yeah.
What's up?
What's
I'll
up?
turn into a chicken and pluck you right now. They're like, oh yeah, I read
Basically-
it too. I'll turn into a fox and eat you. And
Basically,
yeah.
ogres.
Yeah.
Ogres turn to mice, and then they don't care past that. No,
Let's talk about the adventures of
I like
Pinocchio.
the sound of my beer.
Can we do
I
that?
can't talk about Pinocchio. It's
All
We're
right.
on Pinocchio, which
All right.
was
I can't.
the
talk about
longest story that Jacob
it.
picked.
That's why I can't talk
My
about
bad.
Sorry.
So originally it was a series that was put in an Italian newspaper.
Okay.
That was first he did the first 15 chapters and then it ended tragically, and then he added another. He made it a total of 36 chapters. I didn't read those. I only read the first 15
Boring,
chapters. Okay. All right.
boring,
So
boring.
this is what happened. First off, Mastro Cherry. He's the main dude. He finds this piece of wood.
You finally noticed, Steven.
Yeah.
I was just like eyebrow raising.
I was trying to like hide it.
God dang it, Steve.
Tom,
right.
keep singing and shut up.
So Master Cherry finds a piece of wood. He starts carving because he wants to make a takeaway.
Boom!
It starts talking. He's like, shit, this is crazy. Geppetto comes along, and he's like, oh, I want to make a marionette.
Geppetto?
Let me do that. All right,
kind of name
first
is
off, Geppetto, it's an Italian name. Can I talk about that for a second?
Yeah, go on.
All right, so first off,
I drooled. No, you can't. Keep going.
Between Mastro Cherry and Geppetto, ridiculous engagement. Chapter 2, read it. It's ridiculous. First off, it says like, all right, first the block of wood talks and calls him by a name he doesn't like. They say, what are you doing? Pissing me off. All right,
Birthday came on my nose.
he says like, oh, did you call me that name? I don't like it. Him, Mastro Cherry, and Geppetto fight. At the end of the fight, they say, we're best friends. Shake hands. We're going to be lifelong friends. Literally says that. Then afterwards, as he's handing him the block of wood,
So fucking boring.
he says,
my God.
he drops it because the wood jumps out of his hands.
dude.
Again, Mastro
boring.
Cherry says, we're enemies. So they fight. Afterwards, they shake hands again, saying we're going to be lifelong friends.
They fight twice and say they're gonna be lifelong friends.
Yeah, in that one chapter. It's the dumbest thing. All right,
Hey, it was like us.
All right.
Bam, bam.
Yeah,
Fight.
exactly. Okay, after that, he's
I farted. I hope Tom smells it.
Geppetto wants the marionette. He starts carving him. Carves the eyes, stares. Carves the nose.
What?
The nose grows all the time. Not when he tells lies.
Good work, Steven.
In the original, it wasn't anything to do with lies. It just grew all the time. So he carves the arms. It starts hitting him. He carves the legs. He starts running away. He runs away. After he's running through the streets, Pinocchio is running through the streets. Geppetto chases him. Geppetto goes to fucking jail. For no reason. Geppetto just goes to jail.
What?
Yeah. He chases him and Joe says, so then after that, Pinocchio like, shit, I'm actually hungry. So he goes out in the street. Some dude pours water on him. I'm like 6 chapters deep already.
This is so long.
No, we're
Oh
6
my
chapters.
God.
You read a story that's like 3 minutes and it takes you
All
25
right,
minutes.
fuck you. I'll tell you my story right now.
Then
Shut
after
up,
someone
Tom.
gets
Shut up,
poured
Tom.
water on
I
him,
got this.
he keeps
I got
running.
it. Funny.
So
Tom,
he continues
it's not
on.
funny. Tom,
Then he's hungry.
comedy.
He
Here
finds
comes
an egg.
sleep.
He opens the egg.
Somebody,
a
I need
chicken
to laugh.
jumps out.
I
and
need to
flies
fucking laugh.
out.
You're right.
Then the flies away. So then Geppetto comes home and he's like, all right, I'm gonna make you clothes. He makes a hat of dough and he makes shoes of bark.
That happened.
So then he's like, all right, I'm gonna go to school. I'm a real boy. So he goes to school and then he's like, all right, I need an ABC book. So then I don't need this. I read the book.
Somebody
So-
help me. I need to
I'm
laugh.
so bored,
Somebody
Tom.
laugh right now, please.
All right,
Oh my
you
God.
go. And I'll
Okay,
be Tristan.
let me tell
I'm
you.
so bored.
That's me.
I'm
Somebody-
so bored.
Let me tell you, Pinocchio.
Words
Fucking
are coming
real
out
quick.
of your mouth.
I need to laugh,
Oh,
please. Somebody
here
help
it
me.
I'm
comes.
so bored.
Tom.
This is how it feels.
Please, somebody. Oh my God.
Pinocchio sculpted. His nose
So
gets too
then
big.
he goes. He's got his ABC book, so he starts going. He hears pipes, so he goes to the circus. He sells his ABC book that his dad traded his coat to get.
Can't breathe.
He goes to the circus. Hey,
You're only at the coat.
the circus is like.
We're so early.
Oh, I only read 15 chapters deep. I didn't read the whole story. So
Somebody.
he
any
gets
girls
this
are
circus.
watching.
Drag
A
him to
train
the
gets
circus.
up.
He
Is
there
gets
any
dragged
girls
into the
watching?
circus.
Yeah.
If
He
there's
goes,
any women
"Speed it
watching
up!"
right now,
the
please.
director, whose name is
Please
Fire
sleep with
Eater,
Tom.
gives him 5 gold pieces.
If there's
That's
any
so
women
bad.
watching,
a cat and a
please
fox
sleep with Tom.
catches him. Oh, I'm all right with that.
All right,
Anyway,
I got this.
so
the cat,
he's got
the
the
wild
5 gold
cat, and the fox
pieces.
find him.
This is gonna be
They
two
find him.
people
They go,
talking
bury
the
your
whole
gold
time.
over here, and he says,
So,
"I'm gonna
he's got
bury
it.
my gold."
Then
And
all
then
of
he
a
does
sudden,
it. And the
two
fairy shows up, and
assassins
she's like,
pop
"I'm
out.
so sick. Give
It's
me
the
money.
cat
I
and the
need money."
fox.
The end.
They
Pinocchio's
follow him.
nose gets big.
All of
There's
a sudden-
also a shark with asthma.
Yeah.
The end.
All of a
Pinocchio's
sudden,
nose never
he
stops. The
runs
end.
through the woods for 7 hours, finds a cottage. He knocks
Tom,
on the
it's
door.
not important.
He knocks on the door. He's like, "Blue Fairy, let me out." And she's like, "Nobody's here. I'm dead." So the assassins hang him until he dies. The end. He dies from being hanged. All right, let's hear your story now.
That's exactly what happened. Moving on.
That's
Can I
it.
say- I'll say mine real quick.
Yours died with him being hanged.
Can I say mine?
Yep.
I'll say
Continue.
mine real quick for you, Tom.
right.
Pinocchio was born, and then
Hold on. I just want you to know I'm gonna be quiet for yours. Continue.
thanks. You're the best. You're so much better than
This
us.
is weird. Isn't
Tristan,
so
real
long.
quick.
Go.
The naked
Somebody-
picture.
Pinocchio was born. He went, "Hey, can I go to school?" And Geppetto went, "Totes deaf. I sold my coat. It's too warm, lol." And then he went, "Fuck coats, by the way. I don't care. I want to go to this thing." So he goes to the thing,
building an
and then he
airplane.
gets fired. And who cares? Then there's a cat and there's a
gonna
fox.
fly so
They say,
good.
"Bury your money." That's stupid. He buries his money.
about
What
right.
happens?
Yeah.
He's poor as shit. He goes home. He gets eaten by a shark at his house.
Him and Geppetto high five inside the shark. They leave
Yeah,
the shark.
there you go.
The
The
ferret.
shark had a lot of asthma, BT dubs.
shark
Okie
pissed me off,
dokes.
dude.
Let's go home. The end. Also, the fairy was dying and he gave him money.
That's how
Well, all
I
right,
read
we're
it.
good.
Pinocchio, real boy. Be a good kid. You'll be a good kid. Be a real boy.
That's
You'll
what
get
happened.
good
That's-
things.
Tom,
The
what do
end.
you want to discuss? Because I know you have half
That's
a
what I
page.
read for sure.
Mainly it was just summary because I knew it was so different. But mainly it was so he wrote the first 15 chapters, ends with him being hanged.
Yes.
And then the guy was like, you have to write a further chapter, so he made it 36 to make it a kid's story. Originally, it just ended with him being
He
hanged.
fucking
dead.
dies.
The end. Yeah.
Yes, the end.
Because he hides the gold under his tongue, and the people are like, that's weird. So that's it. That's all I have. All right, what were you saying?
Notes.
Fuck,
out of my
I don't know.
AirPods.
That's it?
lost.
Oh, I'm glad you cut me off for that. I'm glad
No,
you cut me
fuck
off
you,
for that.
Tom. You
Oh,
talked
good.
for like 7 minutes. Oh.
All right, I'd like to talk about LibriVox, which
No,
is a website.
no,
that
no,
does,
no.
free
I have
reading.
Tom, we are not sponsored.
They do public domain books.
If we're
free
gonna bring up
audiobooks.
Pinocchio, I'm gonna talk about Pinocchio
All
right
right,
now.
talk about it.
All right, Pinocchio.
Dude, I keep looking
No,
at
so I got
glass.
for my version, which I
keep
explained
thinking
before
this is
Tom
glass,
was a
but
dick,
it's plastic.
and Steven
It's
talked
tricking me
about
every
it.
time.
It is. Listen.
Pinocchio's a dick.
Yeah.
You're absolutely
He's a
right.
fucking
He's
rascal.
a piece of shit.
In
Yes,
my
he's a
version,
dick.
Geppetto gave him money. He was like, "Hey, you should go to school," and he sold his coat. And he's like, "It's super cold, but like whatever."
Which was dick.
And he gave him his coat money. And then Pinocchio goes, "I'll sell the shit out of this for some weed or whatever happened." Like,
that's
he
what he
didn't care.
did.
Yeah,
Totes.
He did too. I'll get rid of the shit. I don't give a shit about it.
yeah. He's
Who
like,
wants
whatever.
this?
My dad's
Anything.
a
Give me some drugs,
fuckhead.
give me
I
whatever
don't
the fuck you
care
want.
about him.
Also, the donkey thing.
Yeah.
I had no donkey.
Yeah.
Really?
The
You had no
donkey.
donkey.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
it's crazy. I only had half the story, and I still got interrupted the entire time. Isn't that crazy?
That was.
Is it weird talking without people yelling over
No,
you?
no,
You
I
talk.
don't know.
Tom!
You talk so long.
Tom, welcome to
weird?
my fucking
Isn't that
world.
weird?
Oh.
Isn't that weird?
I would know because people like me.
Continue.
Whoa,
Continue.
this is heavier than I thought. This tricked the shit out of me. I picked this up.
Gut punch.
I thought this was gonna be light, but it was heavy as shit. This thing's like
And we're all silent.
You literally pulled me in
at least
different
a pound.
directions. That was so weird.
this thing weighs
You're
at
much
least one
like
fucking pound. Dude.
Rumpelstiltskin.
It's awesome.
weighs a pound.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh my god, Rumma's.
All right, so Pinocchio, that was a cool story. Be a cool kid. Don't
All right,
do drugs.
we already
Say
did
yes to
Rumble.
Yo,
pizza.
All right, let's
The
go
only
on.
things-
What's
the
the next
only-
part of our
no,
podcast?
We
shut
already
up.
did Rumpelstiltskin.
Shut up. The only things.
Talk about the next part of our podcast.
The only things I wanted to say about
Original
Pinocchio.
stories.
The only things I wanted to say about Pinocchio were A. I like Geppetto's version in my story because he like sold his coat. He was like, "It's too warm. I don't want to. It's too hot." And Pinocchio was like, "Thanks, Daddy." That was nice. Geppetto was a good person. Pinocchio was a shitbag.
Also-
in my version.
Yeah? Let's get real quiet.
Geppetto didn't wish upon a star.
No.
That didn't
No,
happen.
it wasn't on my list.
Can I tell you about my
The
talking
cricket was a doctor, not a magical cricket that showed up and was like, "When you wish
You had a
upon
cricket? I didn't even
star."
have a cricket in mine.
The
No.
cricket was one of 3
No
doctors
crickets.
that tended to
I know,
Pinocchio
just
on behalf
random.
of the fairy.
I didn't have.
He was not. He was not the cricket from fucking
I have
Kingdom
something to
Hearts.
talk about now.
that
I'm
would
literally,
show up.
I'm
just
literally
random cricket.
amazed because in my version, Pinocchio was born. He did his stupid bullshit, turned into a donkey, ended up in an asthma shark,
Yeah.
and then was like, "High five, Dad! I'll work and get you milk."
Yeah.
The end. Not a single cricket.
There was
not
definitely-
a single.
All right.
Oh,
My
and then,
story
no,
was
no,
very-
no. I'm sorry. Steven probably knows because I think we read the same one. There was a fairy and she was like, "I'm dying," and he gave her money
No.
so she could stop dying.
I think
and
we
then
have-
she goes,
I
and she
read
goes,
your story. I don't think
and
I
then
read
she
the
goes,
story.
okay, apparently not.
No, we
Apparently
have-
my story's bullshit.
We have the
And
same
she gave
story.
fake. And mine,
You forgot about the cricket.
And
he's
my-
in like
there wasn't a single,
he's in
not a
one
single
sentence.
cricket in
it's
mine.
It's very easy to miss. It's
Not-
very easy.
Not
to
a
miss.
single
is,
cricket.
you're right. No,
James,
no,
shut
he's
up.
wrong.
And mine, there was a fairy.
Rumpelstiltskin.
In mine,
We already did Rumpelstiltskin.
yeah.
But yeah.
And mine, the fairy goes, "I'm super sick, I'm gonna die." And Pinocchio gives her some money, and she's like, "I'll turn you into a real boy." And I'm sitting there going, the fairy can't make herself well because she's a stupid, shitty magic person. I'm sick of these fuck.
But she can make him a
She
real
can
boy.
turn him into a real human,
turned a real
but she
human.
can't make herself not have scoliosis or
Section
whatever.
of the podcast.
So, in my
Tom.
original, Geppetto, he didn't have a name. He was a talking cricket. Also, he told Pinocchio, "Oh, I gotta talk, so you gotta slide down in your chair." Oh, yeah, that's it. Just the tip. Oh, that feels good, Tristan. Oh, you know what he's doing. Anyway, Tristan, teeth, no.
For those listening
Anyway.
to the audio podcast, Tristan is sucking Tom's dick.
It is. Even video, you know
This
it.
happens all the time.
So
I
anyway,
swear to God.
I'm done.
They
You
do it
can
all the
come
time,
up.
I swear.
You can come up. I'm done.
Let me try to figure it
Geppetto
out.
didn't have a name. Also, Pinocchio kills him.
Holy fucking
Yeah.
shit.
He throws the hammer at him as he's trying to like teach him life lessons. He's not a doctor. He's a philosopher in mine. Throws a hammer at him, and then he kills him.
Oh
That's it.
my god.
Yep. That's all I want to say.
Okay, I gotta
fucked up.
say,
It's different.
before we move on to the next section, all of these stories in total are way fucking. They're children's stories. Meant
Where'd
to
my
teach-
hat go?
It's fucking on the floor or some shit. They're super.
Why are we
fucking-
talking about your hat in the
Okay,
podcast?
okay. These are medieval children's stories.
Yes.
They are way fucking darker than anything kids
they're
are
Like
given
early
today.
1800s to like middle of 1700s.
It was normal for kids back then.
And they're way darker than anything
ride that fucking
kids
pop
these days
filter.
have to like deal with. And even now, they're starting to get a little edgy for kids.
Yeah.
But it's like nowhere near as dark as 200 years ago.
No, you're right. It was-
and that was 200 years ago.
No, it got dark, then it got really
All
light,
right.
then it got dark slowly again.
And we're slowly getting back. So in like another 100
was like-
years, maybe we'll be like
yeah, old school Rapunzel
kids
got
are-
really light, and then South Park.
So
regular
I'm
uncut.
already sorry. As I've said 17 times,
Oh, God.
we're gonna get an next point. Shut up, Tom. We're literally at 100
Exactly.
minutes.
Let's move on.
We're at 100 minutes.
oh my god.
Let's get to the
New
next
stories.
point.
Steve, you
All
start.
right, time
Our
for
alternate versions and or
New
whatever,
stories, whatever.
which we'll get after the break. Here's some
Oh,
music.
no, not. We just did a break like 2
We
minutes ago.
just did a break.
I'm dying.
Sequel.
All right,
These
so-
kids are so
God.
good. Your kids will love
We had
them.
so much fun. We had so much fun. Thanks for Blackout Book Club.
So, who do you want to go first, Tristan?
Well,
Jacob!
hold on.
Gonna make it up.
Hold on. Hold
Jacob's
on.
is really long.
Guys, let's because that last section was so insanely incoherent.
Yeah.
This last section, normally what we do is
All right.
we give in our alternate
down.
take or alternate sequel to the story.
Yeah.
But because we have so many different fairy tales that we went through, what we're gonna do is either write an
We're
alternate
gonna
version-
say our own story.
our own fairy tale
Or an alternate.
or alternate as
version
of Tom.
of that fairy tale.
I'm sorry, girl, your hair. That was weird.
That is what
I
we're
liked
doing.
it.
Because
All
I don't
right.
think that came across at all.
Is this
so
what
there it
subs
is.
feel like?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Watch our last podcast.
All right, Steve, you're our guest. Why don't you share
start.
us your
Whoa.
version?
What do you have? An alternate? A new? What do you got?
Nothing.
You're gonna make it up off the top of your head.
Hold on.
Go right now. Make up a story.
Viewer, close
Jack
your
and the
eyes right now.
Beanstalk.
Oh yeah.
Check the beanstalk.
All right.
They were running from the giant ogre.
Oh yeah.
He's like, hey, give me my fucking heart back.
I can't
like-
tell if there's spit or semen on my pop filter.
There's both. There's both. Trust me. I was watching lots of things.
Keep going.
Okay.
So they're running.
The ogre's like, hey, give me my fucking heart back. The harp's like, master, come back to me, please, please, please. He's like, hey, fuck you. I need to bring you to my mom. We need to afford cattle and like a house and shit. And the ogre's like, no, I don't give a fuck, bitch. You better fucking get back right now. The harp's like, oh my god, please, S.A., please, bring back, I need to go back to my master. And he's like, let me climb down the beanstalk, climb down. Oh, here you go. Oh my god, mom, look at this fucking awesome harp. It sings and shit, and it's gonna make us
Where'd the
money somehow.
heart come from?
Is this the real
It's a
story?
golden fucking harp, dude.
That was in the story.
No, it was in the fucking
keep
story,
on, keep on,
dude.
keep on.
The harp's
Keep
like,
on.
oh, fuck yeah, dude. I can make you so much money because, look, I'm a golden harp and I sing. I'm alive. He's like, oh my god, okay, let's make us some money. Chop this shit down so the ogre doesn't get hair. The ogre's like, I'm already here, bitch.
Steve, that was so good.
No, the ogre's like, I'm already here, bitch. Fucks the mom. Yes.
He does.
Mom's like, and dies. And then he's like, oh my god, I gotta run away with this harp because I don't want him to fuck me in the ass. Runs away.
He would, though.
Runs to the king, plays songs all day, makes so much money. The ogre's like, hey, give me the harp back. They kill him. Easily.
Easy.
Give me that back. Arrow.
Arrows
No,
all
you know
over.
what? You know what?
And then he plays the harp forever.
You know what? That tells a better lesson in Jack and the Beanstalk because
Yep.
it's like, don't fucking be an asshole and steal shit.
Don't be an
exactly.
asshole.
Because in Jack and the Beanstalk, all it is
Don't
Jack
be an
stealing shit
asshole.
like
Jack
an
is
asshole.
a fucking dick, dude.
I like that version better.
Dude, Jack is
All
such
right.
a fucking dick.
Jake.
Go.
Oh, am I
Yours
going
is
next?
super long. So
Mine's
start.
super long. All
All
right.
right, here we go. Read
All
it
right.
fast.
I did an original story. Mine is called Chad the Wizard.
All right. hey, which one of you guys likes marzipan? I got you marzipan.
Thanks. Tell your story.
That was $7 from Dunderbox. Enjoy
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I had that once. I know it's
7, it
expensive.
says 9.
Oh, it's $9 from Bar.
Wow.
Dude, Tom's
From
hard.
Dunderbox. Enjoy it. Go.
Jake, tell your story. I'll eat this
Everyone
marzipan.
gets a piece.
$9? What the fuck?
I'm going to dinner box soon. I'm
This
so
better be
excited.
fucking good. Dude. This,
Jake, tell your story.
Wait, do I get a piece of marzipan?
Yes,
No.
tell your story.
Yeah.
Tell your story.
this is shove with coconut. Somebody just like
No,
stuff.
no, go, Jake. What are you
Jake,
taking so long for?
I'm sorry, I had to swallow my marzipan.
Oh, swallow.
Okay, I'm ready.
Boo.
Let me get.
Next person.
All right.
Fucking coconut.
What
$10,
late?
$9.
You want me to fucking start?
Yeah, go.
One late midsummer eve, 3 young boys from a far-off land where beasts and magic do not exist were playing a humble game of mazes and
wrote
monsters
this.
in the common room of one boy's house. Yeah. Mom! Where's the pizza? Shouted the boy. He wore a white t-shirt and tan cargo shorts.
They didn't have cargo swords back then.
Chad! Why wouldn't I tell you if the pizza's here? This is why your father left! Shouted Chad's mother. She was a total bitch.
As per usual.
Dude, your mom's a total bitch, said Nick, one of the other boys.
That's about right, guys. One of the other boys.
You're a total bitch, said Chad. What? Screamed Chad's mother. Nothing, stammered Chad. Guys, you're getting distracted. Chad, you're still trapped in the maze with the Minotaur. What do you do?
Where did Minotaur maze come from?
They're playing mazes and monsters. You're still trapped in the maze with the Minotaur. What do you do? Said Gary, the maze master of their current adventure. Right, I cast Fireball, said Chad. You can't use that spell.
D&D and Jake.
It's Mason Monsters.
You can't use that spell. You're not high enough level, Gary retorts.
I think that was from the Batman animated series, Mazes and Monsters.
I'm fighting a goddamn Minotaur, and I can't use something as basic as Fireball? This is bullshit, Chad whined. You have to outsmart him, Gary says, a little annoyed. Outsmart him? I'm a radical-ass wizard. I should just fucking melt his shitty face off, says Chad. Well, you can't, says Gary. Where's the pizza? Asked Nick. If
There's a lot of
I
people I didn't know were in this story.
if I were a real wizard, I'd be the most radical pussy slayer the world had ever seen.
Wow.
Said Chad.
Where does it lead now?
It just so happens that at this exact moment, a powerful fairy from a far-off plane was watching the boys play their game. Because there's always a snarky, stuck-up, piece of shit fairy in these stories.
That's true. They come out of nowhere, too.
100%.
Challenge accepted, said the fairy to herself. Suddenly, Chad's world was melting away before his very eyes. What the fuck, balls? Exclaimed Chad.
Jake was kind of hard in this. I like it.
Slowly, a forest began to form around him, and nearby, Chad could see a cave. Where am I? Chad asked to seemingly no one because he was alone. Chad continued to ask broad and obvious questions to himself because he saw that's what people did in movies. Chad is kind of a moron.
I like that Steven likes it.
All right, keep going.
Then the fairy appeared before Chad. I heard your proclamation about how you'd be the greatest wizard if given the chance, said the fairy. If you can pass the trial of the totally forbidden but undeniably badass cave, you will become the most powerful wizard in the world. Chad entered the cave, which was shut immediately behind him. Now trapped, he had no choice but continue onward. The entryway of the cave, now very dark, since the entrance closed, Chad could barely make out the piles of bones and rotting flesh all around the room. Like, the floor was covered in this gross-ass shit. Chad immediately vomited and farted simultaneously from the horrid stench. After a few minutes of dry heaving, Chad wiped his mouth and started making his way deeper into the cave where he could see a dim light. Chad came upon a narrow walkway with puddles of blood every few feet. And on either side of the path were 2 large pits, and at the end was a pedestal with something on it. But Chad couldn't see it because it was blocked by a fucking Minotaur.
Minotaur! One horn on the head, horse.
The Minotaur began pawing at the ground, his eyes turning to blood red as he glared at Chad, ready to charge. Chad peed himself a little. Not a lot. Just like the amount when you go pee and forget to shake, and then the pee gets in your underwear, like that much.
It says that.
Yeah, it says that.
Oh, okay.
The Minotaur charged. Chad had literally seconds before the Minotaur would reach him, penetrate him, and then probably stab him with his horns.
I hate marzipan.
I don't.
Chad fell back on the one stereotype of how to deal with bulls. He whipped off his white shirt and soaked up some blood on the floor,
disgusting.
turning his shirt crimson red.
I
Eat it, bitch.
Chad waved his now blood red shirt a few times and threw it off a pit. Red! Screamed the Minotaur, and he jumped after the shirt into the pit, fading into infinite nothingness. He made his way to the pedestal.
It was like 2.5
On it was a
pages.
jet black wooden staff with a pale blue gem at the top.
You want to write some fantasy?
Chad picked it up and immediately felt the power and knowledge of 1,000 great wizards coursing through him. Chad had done it.
I don't know anything was
He was the most powerful wizard alive and began his lifelong quest of becoming the most radical pussy slayer the world had ever seen.
Oh shit!
Starting with that fairy chick that summoned him in the first place.
He slayed her pussy?
She loved it. Finn.
Yay!
Do you want to go or do you want me to go?
I want Steven to go.
Steve already went.
I don't want him to go again.
Alright, do you want me to go?
No, I want Steven to go.
Steve already went.
I already went.
I want him to go again.
Do you want to go or do you want me to go?
Steven.
Alright, I'm going to go then if you're going to be silly.
Hold on. Once upon a time.
Once upon
You're done! You're done! Go home!
I slayed some pussy.
Oh!
Mine's
Okay.
kinda, how good is yours? Mine's kind of like decent.
Alright, then I'm going to go then. Alright.
Go ahead.
So, long ago, I wrote mine in the fashion of 1812, sort of like classic story.
Gotcha.
All right. Long ago, when stars were still for wishing for, a little girl in a blue dress. Also, my story is based entirely on the fact that I went to one of those, like, would you paint ceramic shops? And my entire story is based on that.
Did you bring this?
Yes. Once upon a time, when
Fucking
stars were still for
props.
wishing, a little girl in a blue dress was walking through the wood when she stopped near a pond. She started throwing rocks at little frogs who rested on the lily pads. One little frog with purple spots and blue eyes cried out, "Please, young madam, why do you throw rocks at us? We are but resting after a long day of catching flies." The little girl replied, "It's no offense to you, good sir, for if I were to see any animal, I would throw rocks at it. I am angry, for my father and mother forced me to do such that I don't want to do." The frog, hoping to help the poor girl, he said, "What is it that these tyrants make you do?" She crosses her arms. "Comb my hair, brush my teeth, polish my shoes. It's not fair," she says, stomping her feet. "A proper young lady must do as she is told by her parents. No man will marry a girl with unkempt hair and ugly teeth and dirty shoes. If you do not marry, how will you find happiness?" At this, the little girl's face turns red, suited for beets. She throws the biggest rock within reach square at the little frog, who leaps into the water as his lily frag is smashed asunder. Moments later, a great giant frog with purple spots and blue eyes. Tristan, take this and hold it near the camera. Tristan, take it. Alright, Pop Sound says, I am His Majesty, King of the Frogs. And you, foolish girl, must learn a lesson. With that, his mouth opens, and a tongue, three reeds long. By the way, each reed is roughly 9.5 feet approximately. Soars from it and wraps around the little girl's dress.
27 feet, wow.
She is pulled inside, crying as the other frogs look on. "Unhand me, brute! My parents will come looking for me if I do not return before sundown." "Your parents will be glad to be rid of you, you callous ways. You will stay in this pond with me, combing my wigs and brushing my tongue and polishing my lily pads until you have learned to be a proper young lady, which might be a very long time." The little girl stayed with the king for many years before she learned to be agreeable and proper. By the time she was released, she was very old. She was prim and polite, but far too old to marry. She spent her last years sitting by the pond, watching the frogs catching flies until evening, when they would get on their lily pads.
It smells like
That's sad as fuck.
Exactly. The moral: be a proper lady. If you don't get married, what's the point of life?
It's-
That was stories. That was stories early
believe it.
1800s. If you don't get married, what's the point in life?
Dude, it smells like straight fart in this
She
room.
lived in that frog. Show him, Tristan.
I farted.
Hey, dude, nobody smell. Hold your breath. I swear,
Tristan
dude. It smells like
farted.
straight
My turn.
fart, dude.
How nice was that story?
Like legit
I based
fart.
it 100%.
No,
on
Tom,
this.
I agree. I was trying to listen. But
That
it
was
smelled
solid.
Like fucking fart.
Just listen to the podcast and you'll hear it again.
I need to listen to it again.
I can't
Just
help
let you all
but
know I'm
fart.
gonna
And
listen to it
share
later.
and comment and subscribe. Holy shit.
Dude,
Hey,
it's not
is
my
it my
fault. This thing
turn?
weighs like 5
Well,
pounds.
Go!
Tristan, go.
Yay.
Welcome to my podcast, idiots. I fucking love you.
Keep going. God, it's so slow.
All right. Hey, we're really long into this, so I'm going to run through mine.
All right, go.
Hans Schnitzen was a small boy in his homeland of Berlin. He lived his life and ate bread. He had a loving family and lived a long life. But then, one day, he went to the doorstep. There was a knock. Knock, knock, said the door. And there was a fairy. Oh, tra-la-la, he said in a non-British accent, because he's German. Why would it be British? It would be German, you fucking fools. He entered the door, and there was a fairy. you could tell she was a fairy because she had a really fucking floofy dress. And I was like, what? And what? And she said, I'm so thirsty. I am a fairy. Can you give me some water? What's the German word for water? And he said, water. And she said, okay. So he gave her some. Sweet.
not what she meant,
Done.
but yeah.
She gave him water? What? Then she was like, that was so thirst quenching. Steven, you're so pretty. By the way, Schnitzen, Hans Schnitzen. Did I say his name was Hans Schnitzen? That's
No.
his name. Definitely totes. She said, I love Steven, but Hans Schnitzen, you're the person I'm talking to now. So that's different. Hey, thanks for the water. You want to know where there's a magic fountain? He said, I love magic fountains. Also, and she said, rad. So they went to the German forest, which is a thing. Germany has forests.
All right, keep going.
So I went to the German forest, and they walked in. She said, here it is. And he said, what does this do? But
Fucker. You drank my beer.
probably more German in. Probably more German, and then he drank Tom's beer. And she said, it'll show you anything you ask. And he says, sweet. So he says, I love my family, but more German. So like, I love my family! That's German, I think. And he says, can you show me them? And the fountain says, here's your family, idiot. Stop yelling at me. That's rude. And there they are. There's his mama and his papa and his mama and his sister. And they're all there and they go, we love you. You're our favorite, Hans. And he says, super duper great. Hey, I love this girl. Her name is, give me a German name, Steven.
Helga.
Helga Keith. And he says, I love Helga Keith. Can you pretend that was German for a second and then like show me her? Her skin as white as cream. Her lips as white as cream. She's super white. There's no black people in Germany, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Haven't been there. So he's just like, dude, I have a super big boner. Can I jerk off? And the fairy says, I'm still here. Slow your roll, dude. Like, I gave you this magic fountain. Like, And then Hans said, I gave you water. You knew where this magic fountain was. Why didn't you just drink the magic fountain water? And she says, shut up, idiot. Plot holes. This is a story. And Hans is like, yeah, I get it. Okay, fine. I wish... And then all of a sudden, did he say I wish for the first time?
It's your story. You made it up. I don't know.
Because that's fucked up, says the fairy.
When is the happily ever after?
And the fairy says, you don't have to wish. And he says, I already have a boner. I'm really confused. And she says, just hurry the story along. I don't like this. And he says, I wish I knew of more magic. And she says, okay, that's not my problem. This is the lake, dude. Get out of here. And Hans Gruber, because he changed his name formally due to the magic.
Hans Gruber's from Die Hard.
His name is now
Hans Gruber's the bad guy from Die Hard.
His name is now Hans Gruber.
When did he fight Bruce Willis?
Did I say his name was Hans?
When does that happen?
I said his name was Hans Schnitzen, but his name is Hans Gruber Schnitzen.
When is he in the tower?
Tom! Give me a second, it's really good.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Motherfucker!
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Hans Gruber Schnitzen looks into the water and he says, who is this? And the fairy says, why am I still here? And he says, I asked you a question, you idiot. Answer the question. She says, that's a witch. And he goes, yeah, people don't like witches here in Germany. I'm gonna go tell the fucking like sheriff, the Germany sheriff.
Tristan has like 12 words written on a screen. He's making all of this up. Finish your story.
My
story was shorter.
So he walks into his hometown of Germany, which is also Berlin. Berlin's in Germany.
Yeah,
idiot.
go.
He walks in there and he goes, hey, sheriff, there's a magic witch in the woods and I know where her location is. And he goes, yeah, I believe you because I'm German. Also, this is my German accent. Yeah. And then he says, sweet, okay, I want to bang my sister. Underlying incest plot. Then they go to the witch's house. They found it. Here it is. And she comes out and she goes, hey, everybody, what are you doing at my witch's house? I'm not a witch. And I go, that was really weird that you said witch's house, but you're not a witch. And she says, but my magic hands that are spiraling and I hit Tom in the face with my elbow, that'll fucking throw you off. And then they say, yeah, it did. And she said, cool, great. And they go, by they, I mean the sheriff. The sheriff looks, Steven, look at my face. Look at me in the eyes.
I've been looking in your eyes, dude. You're fucking got it.
You're Steven. The sheriff says, hey, this boy says he has.
Sheriff.
Yeah, he says that. And then
I didn't shoot no deputy.
I didn't do it. And the witch says, that's weird.
I'm literally crying right
I don't
now.
know that song.
I don't know what's going on.
And the sheriff says, this boy, Hans Gruber Schnitzen, says that you're a witch. And he saw it through a magic fountain. And we believe him because we're stupid Germans.
That's true.
And she says, that's racist. I don't
witch.
like that. Just because you were Nazis once doesn't mean that your old folklore has to be fucked up as shit. And they go,
Yes.
and Hans Gruber says, definitely. Fairy showed me. Where's the fairy? Nowhere to be found. Also, fairies are in all the stories because that's fucking old times. Tom starts doing a techno beat. Everybody dances. Schnitzen says, she is a witch. I believe it because the fountain said. And then the fucking guy says, the sheriff, he says,
Teach me how to duck. Teach me how to duck. Get it. Teach me how to duck.
the witch, she comes in. She's like, nah, I ain't nothing. The sheriff, he says, yo, you is wrong, Hans Schnitzel. By the way, she had a charm spell on everybody. She had a charm spell on everybody. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. Because they're German and they don't know what they're doing. She casts a spell. Witches cast spells. Witches cast spells and stop. But they didn't stop. She cast a spell. Everybody was charmed. It was a charm spell. Did I mention that? It was.
It's longer than Jake's story.
It was.
Christ.
Oh my God! You just took it off the
It
wall.
was a charm spell. Everybody goes,
just took it off the wall for no reason?
Hans Gruber Schnitzen, you're a liar. And she says, yes, because I'm a witch. And they say, I agree with that because you charm spelled us.
just reach behind
And he
your
is
back?
murdered. Tom, I need you to sit down.
Whoa!
Because
you just reached behind
every
your back and grabbed a picture off the wall for no
Dude,
reason.
fucking nailed
Just
it.
let him finish his story.
every one of these stories
Perfect though.
has a fucking
Keep going.
lesson. And the lesson of this was
Yes?
Schnitzen was drowned and murdered and died and burned because he was a liar. And Germans don't like liars.
No, they don't.
I don't
They
know.
lie all day.
But they were like, hey, we'll murder him because this witch is definitely not a witch. Even though she said she was a witch, but she's not a witch. And the moral of the story is...
I can't wait.
Snitches get stitches.
That's a fact. Tristan, for all those people out there at a German restaurant right now thinking about ordering a schnitzel, what do you say to them?
Snitches get
The
stitches.
same thing.
Oh.
All right.
I gotta say.
Order a schnitzel,
wait,
motherfucker.
wait.
Order it.
One
I
last
dare you,
thing.
bitch.
One last
Shit.
thing.
Order that shit.
dog.
Order
I
a
gotta
schnitzel,
say,
guys.
Dog.
I like how you guys gave me so much shit about how my story was too long. But it was
so long.
Yeah, mine was super structured and really
So,
funny.
yeah, no, yours was
was
good.
also really funny, but also really long.
You're right,
Why
you're
did you
right.
give me shit? We're
Because
both funny
stitches get
guys.
stitches, bitch.
In the podcast.
Thanks for joining us on Blackout Book Club.
Next episode.
Next episode.
is my book. We're going to be reading Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Chickens.
Chick.
Either chickens or children. Maybe children chickens. We don't know. It's been on the bestsellers list. Read a book.
We'll find
Join
out at
us
some
next
point.
week. Thanks, Steven, for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for joining us.
What? Oh, he's crying. He's crying.
Hey, if you want to check out more stuff we did, just click the links that Jacob puts
There's
at the end
links
of the
to
videos.
like other like
Are
to the
they here?
to the book for the next podcast,
here?
the last podcast, another podcast we do, other videos we do,
Maybe they're
Facebook,
over
Twitter,
here.
Tumblr.
I'm sorry it ran so
RedTube.
long, but we're all dumb. So,
Dumb
fact,
or done?
fact, Dumb and Dumber is a movie to release.
It is a movie, yeah.
Like,
Hey,
comment,
it's a movie.
subscribe, and review.
Please.
We missed.
Yeah, at the very least,
It's a movie,
leave.
yeah. Dumb and Dumber's a movie, yeah.
It's a movie.
At the
is,
very least, shh,
That's
shh.
a solid
At the very
point.
least,
a movie.
hey guys, seriously, thanks for listening. We know this rang a little long. It rang a little long. It didn't even
like 2
ran a
episodes.
little
It's raining.
long.
It's actually
It ran
raining.
super long.
No, it's
Steve was
raining.
on the podcast though. Thanks for listening.
It's
Hey, read the next book.
raining.
Talk about us on the Reddit. share it with your friends, and also Steven's gonna remove his shirt right now and show his muscles. So like that's a benefit.
Show them off. You make me mad.
He's got 13 abs. Oh, wait, what is his penis? I apologize.
I drank a 6-pack tonight. One of them was his abs.
Drink it.
I get it.
Bye.